hear another trooper was just killed line of duty, North Carolina.
Oh, no. All right, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for being here for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, so could everybody please rise? And Councilwoman McDonough, would you lead us tonight, please? To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember all of the men and women who are fighting for our freedom. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, once again, good evening, everyone. Thank you all that are in attendance tonight, you all, and everyone at home that's watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Today's date is Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. Tonight's meeting is the Town Board voting meeting, but at 6 p.m., the Town Board met in executive session with Highway Superintendent Mike Simone to discuss his budget for fiscal year 2019. There were personnel items that the Highway Superintendent discussed with the board. So for the record, all Town Board members are present with us this evening, as is our Town Clerk, Dan Spofford, all the way down to my right, and Greg Falchetti, all the way down to my left is the Carmel Town Council. Please put your phones on vibrate, like I just did. Okay. All right, so the first item is to accept the Town Board minutes of September 19th, 2018. Can I get a motion to accept those?
Second.
So moved by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item number 1 on tonight's agenda is a resolution adopting the amended tentative budget as the preliminary budget. Councilman Schneider, would you read Resolution 1, please?
Be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby adopts the Town Supervisor's tentative budget as amended on the attached schedule as the preliminary budget for fiscal year 2019. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor
I knew.
Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Carried 5-0.
Comedian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, of course.
I was going to abstain.
So, thank you all. Resolution number 2 is a resolution authorizing the scheduling of a public hearing in connection with the preliminary budget, and that public hearing will be held on November 7th, 2018. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 2, please?
Sure, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the scheduling of a public hearing in regard to the preliminary budget for fiscal year 2019, including the general town fund, highway funds, as well as all water districts, sewer districts, park districts, fire protection districts, garbage district, and lighting districts. And be it further resolved that said public hearings shall be held on the 7th day of November 2018 at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 o'clock p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, at which all interested persons shall be heard. And be it further resolved that the proposed salaries of the following officials for fiscal year 2019 shall be advertised as required by Section 108 of the Town Law of the State of New York as follows in said notice. Town Supervisor, $124,800. Town Council Members, $21,840. Town Clerk, $95,160. And Town Highway Superintendent, $128,960. Be it further resolved, the Town Clerk, Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized and directed to publish the notice of said public hearing in the official newspapers of the town of a minimum of 5 days prior to November 7th, 2018. And be it further resolved that the Town Clerk of the Town of Carmel is hereby authorized and directed to post the notice of said public hearing on the Town Bulletin Board a minimum of 5 days prior to November 7th, 2018. And be it further resolved that a copy of the preliminary budget be available at the office of the Town Clerk where it may be inspected by any interested person during office hours. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 3, is a resolution authorizing rescheduling of a public hearing on a proposed local law amending Chapter 89 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Freshwater Wetlands, and that will be for November 28, 2018. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 3, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the rescheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, November 28, 2018, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible on a proposed local law amending Chapter 89 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Freshwater Wetlands, and be it further resolved that, and be it further resolved that Town Clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspaper of the town and on the town bulletin board regarding this public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Offered by Councilman Lupinacci, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Burley?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thanks. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution authorizing the rescheduling of a public hearing on a proposed local law amending Chapter 111, Chapter 111 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Peddling and Soliciting. That will also be on November 28, 2018. Councilman Borelli, would you read 4, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the rescheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, November 28, 2018, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a proposed local law amending Chapter 111 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Peddling and Soliciting, and be it further resolved that Town Clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspaper of the town and on the town bulletin board regarding this public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution authorizing the scheduling of a public hearing on the fire protection contracts and ambulance district contracts for November 7th, 2018. Councilman Schneider, would you read 5, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the scheduling of a public hearing on the fire protection contracts and the ambulance district contracts for the year 2019 to be held on the 7th day of November 2018 at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible. Said contracts to be advertised as posted as follows. Contractor of Mahopac Falls Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. for fire protection of Fire Protection District Number 1, services not to exceed $794,000. Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. for fire protection of Fire Protection District Number 2, services not to exceed $1,225,000. Carmel Fire Department and Carmel Fire District for fire protection of Fire Protection District Number 3, services not to exceed $803,500. Carmel Volunteer Ambulance Corps for ambulance services of Carmel Ambulance District Number 1, services not to exceed $150,000. North Salem Volunteer Ambulance Corps for ambulance services of Carmel Ambulance District Number 1, not to exceed $12,900. Be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized to publish a notice of the public hearing in the official newspapers of the town and to post a notice of said hearing on the bulletin board of the town. Said notices to be published and posted a minimum of 10 days prior to the public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Everybody.
Councilman Borelli?
You are too.
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution appointing special counsel. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 6, please?
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the appointment of Andrew A. Rubin, 1133 Westchester Avenue, White Plains, New York, as special counsel for Councilman John D. Lupinacci at an hourly rate of $450, and be further resolved that reimbursement to Councilman Lupinacci in the sum of $400 for consultation fees is hereby authorized. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution authorizing advertising for bid. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 7, please?
Resolved that pursuant to the request of Town Comptroller Mary Ann Maxwell and Assistant to Town Board Ann Pascarella, the Town Board hereby authorizes Town Clerk Ann Spofford to advertise for bids in connection with the proposed purchase of 2 new servers of Town of Carmel IT equipment, facilities, and services, and be it further resolved that the detailed specifications are to be furnished for the above to Town Clerk Ann Spofford to be used in conjunction with the town's general bid conditions and specifications. I offer this resolution as read.
Okay, I'll second it.
Second. Sorry, you
That's
beat me.
all right. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried, thanks. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution accepting a proposal and authorizing entry into an agreement for false alarm billing services. Councilman Borelli, would you read 8, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Comptroller Mary Ann Maxwell and Town of Carmel Police Sergeant Laura Smith, authorizes entry into agreement with A1 Business Solutions, Bedford Hills, New York, for the provision of false alarm billing services at an initial upfront cost of $3,980 and a monthly charge thereafter of $175. Be it further resolved that the Town Supervisor, Kenneth Schmidt, is hereby authorized to sign any and all documentation necessary to authorize the actions contained herein, and be it further resolved that Town Comptroller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all budget transfers or modifications necessary to fund the services authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, thank you, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution authorizing entry into contracts with Penflex Incorporated for Service Award Program Administration. Councilman Schneider, would you read 9, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as the Commissioners of Carmel Fire Protection Districts Number 1 and Number 2, hereby authorizes entry into Service Awards Program service agreements with Penflex, Inc. of Latham, New York, for administration services for the Fire Protection District Service Award Program for 2018-19 year, as contained within its September 2018 proposal, which is attached here to and made a part hereof, at estimated cost of $6,600 for Fire Protection District Number 1 and $7,200 for Fire Protection District Number 2. And be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to sign any and all documentation required to effect this authorization on the terms set forth herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 10, is a resolution authorizing attendance at a seminar. Susie, would you read 10, please?
To resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes payroll clerk Barbara Alasko to attend the New York State and Local Retirement System Employer Education Seminar being held on October 26, 2018 in Pomona, New York. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel authorizes payment of reasonable and necessary expenses incurred in connection therewith upon audit. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 11, is a resolution accepting a proposal for architectural design consultant services for the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 10?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., hereby authorize the acceptance of the proposal of Warshower, Malusi, Warshower, Architects P.C. for the performance of architectural consulting services to the Town of Carmel Planning Board upon the terms set forth within the proposal September 25th, 2018, a copy of which is on file in the Town Supervisor's Office, and be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates in form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all necessary contract documentations to effect acceptance of this proposal upon the terms authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution authorizing entry into an agreement for operation and maintenance of stormwater retrofit facilities. Councilman Borelli, would you read 12, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, on the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby authorizes entry into an agreement with the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation and the County of Putnam for the operation and maintenance of stormwater retrofit facilities, said agreement to be in general form and content as currently on file with the Office of the Supervisor. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution authorizing payment for repairs within Carmel Water Districts. Councilman Schneider, would you read 13, please?
Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Water District Number 12, and upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby authorizes payment to Ed Cook Excavating of Carmel, New York, in the sum of $6,838.72 for goods and services rendered in connection with repairs performed at Tommy Court within Carmel Water District Number 12, in accordance with the invoices dated September 17, 2018. And be it further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Water Districts Number 10, and upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby authorizes payment to Ed Cook Excavating of Carmel, New York, the sum of $6,004 for hydrant flushing on Senior Avenue within Carmel Water District Number 10, in accordance with the invoice dated September 28, 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 14, is a resolution authorizing requests for proposals for Lake Cassie and Lake Tea Kettle Lake dams. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 14, please?
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Lake Cassie Park District and Lake Tea Kettle Park District, and upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby authorizes circulation of a request for proposals for development of bid documents and specifications to address maintenance issues raised in engineering assessments for the Lake Cassie Dam, Lake Tea Kettle Dam, and Upper Lake Tea Kettle Dam. And be it further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Lake Cassie Park District and Lake Tea Kettle Park District, and upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby authorizes circulation of a request for proposals for development of bid documents and specifications to address structural and geotechnical deficiencies in Lake Cassie Dam, Lake Tea Kettle Dam, and Upper Lake Tea Kettle Dam. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, the 15th and final resolution tonight is a resolution making a reappointment to the Environmental Conservation Board of the Town of Carmel. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 15, please?
Whereas the term of Edward Barnett of the Environmental Conservation Board of the Town of Carmel expired on June 13, 2018, and the Town Board wishes to reappoint him to a new term. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Edward Barnett is hereby reappointed to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a 3-year term commencing retroactive to June 14, 2018, and expiring on June 13, 2021. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, that completes the agenda items for this evening's Town Board voting meeting. If there's any members of the public that would like to come up at this time on regarding the agenda items that we covered, come on up to the podium at this time, and it's for a 3-minute period.
Hi,
Evening.
everybody. Jean Hopper, Mayapack. I'm just going to go down the list here. You mentioned in the scheduling of the public hearing in connection with the preliminary budget, salaries. They were mentioned why? Why were they mentioned specifically? Are there raises involved, or
Every
is it just
year,
something you
the
have to
state law
mention?
mandates that they have to be published and have a
Okay.
resolution for it. So
Great, thank
Town
you.
Law 108 requires those to be
Let's
published.
see. The Penflex agreement, that's for an administration cost within our fire contracts, or,
Correct, that's for
Okay.
the Length of Service Awards Program, and that's an annual fee that handles administration as well as, I believe, a portion of the life insurance for each member that's maintained active service each year.
okay, why is that not in the fire department budget? Why is that a separate item, not in, you know what I'm, why is the town separating that from the fire department's budget?
Because the town is required under the Penflex law, or Penflex guidelines, is that the town of Carmel is the administrator. We administer and oversee the investments and the funding for the Penflex program. So that's why that's part of that.
If it were a different type of structure for the way that the fire protection services are offered in our town, if there were a taxing agency that were in charge of the fire protection, then that taxing agency would be the one that would be administering it, but we act as the commissioners.
I get it, okay. Thank you. Number 13, you mentioned Carmel Water District. Number 12, there were dollar amounts that you mentioned in those repairs. Is it two different amounts? Is it totaling 12,000, or is it just 6? 12,000 total. Okay. And I think that's all I have. Okay. Thank you.
And just as a side note, that LoSAP program, and this is kind of a recruitment, I guess, public announcement, that PenFlex program is something that is basically a thank you retirement account for volunteers who perform so many volunteer calls, training each year, perform so many years of service with the town, that they actually receive a retirement benefit that is taxable at the federal level, but the governor did sign off that it's not taxable at the state. And there are people who are in our town receiving $5,000, $6,000 a year in this LoSAP program as a thank you for 40 years of volunteering and protecting our town. So if you're, well, you might not think about it at 19, 20 years old. If you are someone who wants to go into fire rescue or even the EMT side, the LoSAP program is a really nice incentive that's offered. Not every fire department is offered that in New York State. It's something that's elective, and it's something that the town continues to make sure that we're funding so that our volunteers are taken care of when the time does come that they look forward to retirement.
And since you brought it up, you said 40 years, but it's how many years of service?
No, I think all that you need is 10 years of service in order to have it vested. Kenny, I'm not sure if you could correct that. I believe it's 10 years of service to be vested, and I think you have to reach a certain age in order to start collecting. But it also does give a life insurance benefit to the active members as well as to the life members who have given decades of their years. So every little bit helps, and it's just a really nice token for providing to the volunteers who continue to serve our community.
You have to meet, you have to meet
Okay,
certain
thank you.
criteria in order.
Yeah.
You have it?
I'm
All right,
sorry.
yeah, you have to meet certain requirements in order to maintain over a 10-year
Right.
period. You have to make your points, and there's certain categories that you have to be active in and maintain. There's a training category, there's a fire category, there's an EMS category, where you have to maintain a certain amount of meetings and training in order to qualify for that. So you have to respond to a certain amount of calls, both EMS and fire. If you're active EMS, or if you're just active fire, you have to maintain, I believe it's 50 points a year in order to qualify for the pension through PenFlex retirement. The age is 62, I believe, Jonathan, that you could start collecting.
I think so, and it's basically $20 a year or $40 a year for every year of
Every
service
year
that you
of
put in.
service.
So you have to put in a lot of years, but
You do. It's well worth it, though.
it is, yeah.
Definitely is.
$6,000 when you hit 62, it's
Extra, it's definitely. an extra
$500 a month. I mean, most people would
Yeah.
take that. I take it, no doubt.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they actually use that as a recruitment tool. Did you mention that?
That's what he mentioned, yes.
Somebody was talking to me when you were speaking.
No, I'm used to it, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. To recruit and retain.
Yes, absolutely.
You did say both of those, right?
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
Jonathan.
maybe you want to make mention while we're talking about the fire, maybe you want to make mention of the new update in the law that has new coverages for our fire departments?
It's very vague
Yeah, it is very,
Well,
very-
it just seems like you have to be an active member who has exposures, and you're going to get some coverages. And we don't administer it, but the
They do, yeah.
departments do. But the departments also do the administration of this LoSAP. They're the ones that make sure that every member has attained their points, has done their training. They are the ones who do the administration. We're just really the ones who fund it.
we do the investments, right? The investment side of it. So we'll continue to be funded. Good job. Okay. Anyone else for agenda items? Okay, we'll open it up to new business now. Open forum, new business. Anyone want to come up and address the board? Any new business? Okay. All right. New business? No. Okay. All right, so that's it. I have a couple of announcements real quick, though. Our town historian, Mary McDonald, she stepped down from her role as town historian. So we need to fill that position. We're required under New York State law to have a town historian. And I want to thank Mary McDonald for her years of service in that role. It's probably not an easy role to be in. You really have to be involved and want to promote the history of the town as the town historian. So I wouldn't say there's a tremendous amount involved in it, but there is work that you have to do. So if there's anyone out there that's watching the meeting tonight that is interested in becoming the town historian, you can contact my office at 628-1470, and we'll give you more information about that role. It's really, if you like the history of the town and you want to continue to research the town history and share that with the community and share it with others, you work very closely with the Town Historical Society, which is right up the street here. So it's pretty fascinating, some of the things that took place in this town of Carmel many, many years ago. So if you like history, it's a role that you may want to apply for. So call my office, 628-1470, speak to Ann Pasquarello, Bella, or myself, and we'll give you more information about it. The other issue that just recently I became aware of, and I'm going to reach out to the community to see if there's any interest in this. We have two active cemeteries in the town of Carmel. The Ballard Barrett Cemetery, which is in Mahopac Falls, beautiful cemetery, and also the Presbyterian Cemetery, which is at the corner of Secor Road and Route 6N. Both of those cemeteries, their boards are in desperate need of people to serve on the cemetery boards. In fact, and I can mention this because it's going to happen, the president and the vice president are both stepping down, just for various reasons that they can no longer continue to serve. But the cemetery has to have an active board in order for them to keep functioning as an active cemetery. So there's an issue right now with both those cemeteries having enough people to serve on their boards. So if you're interested in serving on either the Barrett Cemetery Board or the Presbyterian Church Board, please, you can also give my office a call, 628-1470, and we'll give you some more information about that and who you can reach out to. The New York State Division of Cemeteries actually contacted me the other day, and they're concerned about that the board is going to be stepping down. But they really, really desperately need people to step up and operate those two cemeteries on the board of directors. So we'll have more information about this as we're going forward, because there's going to be a meeting that is going to be scheduled within the next probably 2 or 3 weeks with the New York State Division of Cemeteries. They're coming down here to meet with the current operators of those cemeteries, both of which have already submitted their letters of resignation, but they don't take effect until the end of November. So we really need to get people on those boards, because those are very active cemeteries, and we want them to continue to be active, but they need people to run the cemeteries.
But Kenny, it's not, just make sure it's not a town.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
not
not,
a town program or anything, you're just reaching
Yeah,
out
I'm doing
on
this-
behalf of them, not on behalf of the town.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the word out to the
Yeah.
community on behalf of them. They've asked me to try to
Right, yeah.
help out to recruit people.
Just didn't want people to think that
Yeah, thanks,
that
Susie.
we own cemeteries.
The people that have people buried in those
Right,
cemeteries.
yeah, and that's what the woman from the Division of Cemetery said. It's probably going to be somebody that has, relatives that are buried there. So there's an interest in wanting to keep those cemeteries operating and keep them maintained and to be the caretakers of the cemeteries. So if there's anyone out there, contact my office. I'll give you the information on who you can reach out to if you want to become involved in that. It might be good for a retired person, that if you're looking for something to do and you want to be involved in cemeteries, or you may have a loved one that's buried at either one of those cemeteries, something you may want to get involved in. So, thank you so much. That's my public service message for tonight. Does anybody else have any other? John? Mike? You have anything? Okay. All right. So we do have executive session. We have to go back into executive session to discuss the budget for next year. And these are personnel items that we're going to be talking about for fiscal year 2019. The comptroller's going to join us. Mary Ann's here in the building. She'll join us in the meeting as well. So I need a motion to go into executive.
Second?
Okay, so moved by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. All right, good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you back here next Wednesday for a Town Board work